Hello and welcome to this week's coffee vlog. It's now Friday the 26th of November. It's Black Friday. In the UK, Black Friday just means a load of cheap deals on Amazon, basically. Although in America, no, it's based around Thanksgiving, but for us, we just get loads of cheap deals, basically. In fact, most of the deals have been running a week just about. They seem to just spread it out for an entire week. And it'll keep going on till Monday and Cyber Tuesday as well. So, we are in Black Friday. That of course means that White Rose Coffee Roasters has Black Rose Espresso Limited Edition now on offer, up for sale. And that's in fact what I'm drinking now, is Black Rose, and it's powerful. Wow, yes, that's definitely, that's gonna keep you going for a day or two. Yeah, it does exactly what it says on the tin, Black Rose. It's a very dark, oily roast. You got the Brazil de Terra in there, it's quite an exclusive estate in Brazil. So that adds quite a lot to the coffee. Got the Vietnam Arabica, it's underrated, but Vietnam Arabica is a good coffee. And a nice bit of Costa Rican for balance. And I'm gonna admit, it's good. And for an espresso, oh yeah, brilliant espresso, lovely thick crema, perfect. So Black Rose, it is now unleashed, but it is limited edition as well. So like the Black Friday deals, it will be disappearing again very soon. So grab them while you can. So last weekend, pretty steady weekend to be honest. Saturday I made the best effort I could to do very little, just to recover a bit, because it's just so mad at work at the moment. So I had quite a restful Saturday. Sunday we did a bit of shopping, went out and about a bit. That was it. Back to work Monday. Monday was the usual hectic sort of mayhem, loads of stuff to get done. And then Monday afternoon the warehouse roller shutter decided it wasn't going to stop when it's supposed to at the top, and sort of like pop out of its tracks that keep it in place, which was annoying. So I thought I'd get it back into place, because it was useless as a roller shutter not in them, because it just flaps about, so you could just like push it out of the way if you wanted to and get in. Not ideal for security, obviously. So, I was up a ladder trying to get it to go back up again, because it had been put down before anyone realised that it wasn't doing what it was supposed to. So I was up a ladder, sort of leaning over and down to press the button for it to go up. It goes up, but it must have got to a point, and I don't know if it had like got caught up or kinked to something up at the top, but then it must have unkinked and dropped down because of the unkink onto my head, which wasn't great. So I got this sudden like boom. What was that? Okay, I wasn't expecting that to happen. Bit shell shocked, and then I realised that there was something warm trickling down my face, which proved to be blood, which wasn't great. So I then had to stagger myself off. Meanwhile, while the warehouse is wide open and the flapping of the stupid shutter, and it's in the afternoon, it's getting cold, head off to the toilet so it wasn't dripping blood everywhere. And used an entire toilet roll to just like keep patting it on my head, and then it's like, oh, that one's sodden, get some fresh, pass it. It bled a lot. I mean, I was talking to someone else and they said, oh yeah, head wounds are terrible, they'll just bleed like anything, but oh, it bled. So anyway, I managed to get it to the point where I could just hold the tissue in my hand and it wasn't getting instantly sodden. So I could then go back up the ladder, continue trying to get the thing back up, which was a bit of a trial, but I got it to the point I could get it back in its tracks and then put it down properly. At which point I was happy, sorted out roller shutter. We just decided maybe we'd stop it manually before it got to the very top, just to be on the safe side. So I didn't want to go through that malarkey again. yeah, so did all that. I got the first aid kit, got myself some medical like gauze and some Neopor tapes, medical tape, and slapped the gauze where I thought the gap was, and put some tape on to keep it on, and it was like a little nifty hat sort of thing. And then headed off to do the deliveries I had to do and drop the Hermes parcels off, you know, all the trials of life. Got home, I managed to avoid them nosing at it at home until it was late enough they couldn't send me to hospital. Because I was like, oh God, they're going to say it's really bad. But apparently it was really, really bad, and they insisted I did go to hospital the next day to get it checked at least, that it didn't need stitching, or I didn't need any tetanus or whatever else jabs, because it was a mucky old roller shot. So I had to do a load of roasting on this on Tuesday, so I was in early on this, 8 o'clock, I was roasting on this till 12, back to back to back roasts. We just had so much on, and got all that done. So it was about 1:30 before I got a chance. I had a load of deliveries to do at the Peace Hall on the way, just to add to the fun and games. Went along to A&E, expecting it to take 12 hours because the news is all A&E crammed, you'll never get there, and everything else, pardon me. And so went in, got registered, waited, got assessed, waited, got seen, and then was back out within 2 hours. So it wasn't bad for an A&E trip, to be fair. You just sort of took my the bandage you would put on top off, had a look at it, cleaned it up with something incredibly stingy. I don't know what it was, pure alcohol or goodness, so it was a clear white liquid, but oh, it stank. It was more pain than I actually had from getting hit on the head by the roller shutter. There's some irony there, I'm sure there is. Cleaned it up and then just glued it. As I said, it'll set in there, it'll scab up, and then it'll eventually fall off, but you won't be able to wash your hair for 12 days or something while it's doing its job. We ascertained that when I went to Brazil in 2019, I probably had a tetanus, which would do, and she wasn't overly concerned about tetanus because it generally has to do with animals and animal feces, and not particularly something that's going to be near where our roller shutter is, to be honest. But did give me some antibiotics to be on the safe side, as it's probably a bit grotty, and I'd left it dirty for 24 hours pretty much before going to see them. So well, I did say, I said, to be fair, you know, if it was mucky, the wound, A, all the blood that came out of it would have pushed any muck out as it was coming out because it bled so much. And B, I was constantly using new fresh paper towel on there going wipe, wipe, wipe to clean that blood up. So I probably cleaned it up myself nice and dandy, I've got to be fair. If it had been me, I'd just have left it and it probably healed itself. But yeah, no, I was insisted on taking a trip to the hospital. So that was fun and games. Wednesday I had some guys come to look at this and put some of their own coffee to roast through it, some more roasting with this. Yesterday had the big drop of another 500 kilos chocolate and coffee for Christmas markets, and went to see someone with a new 30 kilo that they bought. Just got it setting up, and they wanted to go through some training on how to roast with it, so I went and did that. I came back, got the Hermes parcels, went and did the Hermes drops. So it's been all go, and today there's just a load to do again. I think there'll be plenty of roasting on the smaller roaster going on. There's a lot of packets going out. We're just going to have some White Rose Black Friday deals. I need to just do the price drops for some items, and yeah, we'll just have to see what goes on. So, but yeah, it's been a busy week, fraught with all sorts of different trials and tribulations of life, isn't it? So, we've got Black Rose, drinking Black Rose. This is really good. I don't normally like the dark oily roast I do for espresso, brewed in AeroPress, because they can just be a bit too overpowering. But I've got to admit that Black Rose, it's got a bit of balance in it, and it's darker than we do like the Spire, which is a dark oily roast. We went, really well into second crack, so a lot darker than normal, but somehow probably the Costa Rican and maybe the Brazil de Terra is balancing it. Yeah, I think that's a surprisingly nice brewed coffee, and it's mind-blowing as espresso, so. But they are. So, I think we better do Minister Analysis Words of Wisdom. I have so many things to do today. I don't know if I'm going to get them all done. Oh, let's see if we can find Mr. Nellis. And he says, oh, I'm not up for my words of wisdom this week. But he had his booster vaccine, so well done for having your booster. I've not had my booster vaccine yet. No, they've only just brought my age group into the offering. So it's something I should think about, but it's now in the silly season of madness that will be the same all the way up to Christmas. So I don't know. I'll see about if I can get it booked for a weekend or something, I suppose. But other than that, I don't know. Well, I think that's about as much as I can think about. I've not been the best at thinking this week after the clunk on the head, to be fair. And it doesn't really help that I have so many things to think about that it's nearly impossible to work them all out. So, I think we'll leave it at that. Black Friday. Enjoy your discounted shopping if you're doing any. And if you're having Turkey Day, enjoy turkey. And other than that, have a good week next week, and I'll catch you in next week's coffee vlog. Okay, see ya. Ooh.